So, this is Don from the Nearly Historical Railroad channel, which is why it's on this YouTube channel that you're watching right now. So, in this video, I'm gonna do something different. We're not working on the layout. I've got this little train set up here, and now that we have Kenosha Pass all working, I can finally make this really long run that I've been thinking about for literally years. I actually tried it yesterday, but we had some track issues on a turnout and a little bit of stuff. But so this is actually our second attempt. We've never done it before. Let me explain to you real quick what is actually going on here. Okay, so this layout kind of confused me, and I was thinking about it, trying to figure out exactly what's happening. So there's two reverse loops basically, if you run it in this way, and it's like a dog bone. So what we're going to do is we're going to start a train here. Just so you know, I tried to make the lines dark by pressing hard using what I believe to be a number 2 pencil. I think I learned that in school back in the day. So we're gonna start in Como, and that's gonna go to the King City coal mine area, and then out to Buena Vista, which is dual gauge, then around to St. Elmo, and then Romley up here, and then Alpine Tunnel is in here. Then we go to Alpine Station, then we go through the Palisades, and that's all like on this leg of the reverse loop. Now the only reversing section is like right in here at Kenosha Pass. This is the only technical part that flips polarity. And then we go across here and then into Morrison. And this was the original reverse loop in this entire room. Goes through Morrison, loops back through that, and then it'll come back through this way actually, and go backwards through all of this again, and then go back up this way, hit Morrison again, and come back down this way to where we're facing the same direction we started. That's the plan. We don't know how long it's going to take. We're going to time it, and if nothing bad happens, we should have a good number of how long this takes. Okay, so hopefully that makes sense. It didn't make sense to me for a while, so I had to draw it out and really think about it. So anyways, we're gonna try this out, and we're gonna time it and see how long it takes. Hopefully this works out. All right, here we go. So here we are, we're going to start in Como. Go and start timer. My dad is timing us for us. Bringing this throttle up to 22. So if we have to stop, I know what it was at. We're heading through Como, the yard in Como. These buildings we just kind of set here. I don't know that we'll keep them. Not prototypical. I said some parts of this layout we're trying to keep prototypical. Other parts, yeah. Park Gulch. Now we're gonna come over into King City Coal Mine. So again, speaking of prototypical, all these locations are not necessarily lined up or correct, but King City Coal Mine was actually not that far outside of Como, across the park or the valley. Just a different direction than the way we left, but let's not get too technical. So now we're gonna go through and we're gonna go under Como. So again, in real life that didn't actually happen. So I'm gonna run over here real quick, and we're gonna pick up on this other side of Como where it comes out. So it's kind of a figure 8. So there's a lower loop here that is a figure 8, and that's part of it. So now we're gonna go through this here. It will actually go into a tunnel here. This portion of the tunnel here will be kind of open, lengthwise, so you can access the track easy and see the train. Oh, dead frog. Come on. We'll take a few seconds off timer for that one. Okay, now, so this is the Kenosha Pass area, which we are kind of trying to make it prototypical. Down below here is not the way it actually was, but it's the way we're doing it. So the train will come out this way. This will be at the bottom end of a cliff. It'll be pretty cool looking, I think. Alright, they'll probably come out of a tunnel there. And here it joins up with the standard gauge. Now we have dual gauge. This is the first cool turnout thing I made. There's no moving parts. The dual gauge and standard gauge blend together. I have a frog juicer on the frog to deal with the polarity. In this area I'm calling Buena Vista very loosely. The only thing I think in common it has with Buena Vista is that there was dual gauge there. I may make the depot the same, or the platform. There's a picture of the platform with a bunch of like gold bullion or something out on there. It's kind of a neat picture in Buena Vista. So I might do that. But so going through what I'm calling Buena Vista, again, because it was dual gauge. So that works out pretty good. Now this area is no man's land, because all we're trying to do is get us to the other side of the room, past the stairs. So maybe we'll put some cool photographic backdrops of something, but no particular area, whatever. Okay, I just came over the stairs. So here the track work gets a little interesting, but this way we can run standard gauge trains without interfering with narrow gauge trains, if we just want to let them run. So again, this is just kind of for a long continuous run, if you want to let trains do that. Now we're going to be coming into St. Elmo. So this will be the St. Elmo area. Some old box cars that were there. That's kind of what that represents. Then there was a mine between, a few mines actually, between St. Elmo and Romley. So that's what this represents. This is going to be like the Floribella mine, I think that's what it's called. I always get it wrong. So we're going to pass there. That siding actually works, so that's nice. Then we come around the corner, we're going to come into Romley. Coming into Romley, and this will be a cool bridge here. That will be this right here. This mill pictured is not actually what was there, but looks pretty cool. So it'll come through here. There's actually going to be a little bit more track work here, some short sidings and stuff. Then it's going to go through the Alpine Tunnel. Here's a little bit of picture of kind of the Romley stuff that I'm trying to maybe kind of build. Okay. So I just went into that tunnel there. I'm going to go to the other side. Now we're coming back out here, which will be the other side of the Alpine Tunnel, we'll say. But that picture's not in the right spot. I wanted to make it try to look like this, but I just don't have the room. Really, I might make this portal look more like that, even though it's using that portal. So again, back to no man's land, because, well, we're just getting past the stairs. Alright, I just jumped over the stairs. Okay, I didn't jump. Carefully climbed with the camera in hand. Oh, wow, I don't have any protection up here. I should probably get that back up. So this is coming, so after coming out of the Alpine Tunnel, it went to Alpine Station, which really wasn't that far away. So I kind of have enough room to squeeze in part of it here. This siding originally was shorter, and I made it longer once, and then I made it longer twice. because it's just so much better having a little more extra length on this. Before I could barely get a short train on there. So after that, it's going to go through the Palisades. So this will be kind of a nice cliffy area. That'll be kind of neat. It's going to look something, hopefully, like these. I'm excited about that. This will actually be a little bit of a bridge right here. And then now again, not prototypical, but from here now it goes into what we are calling Kenosha Pass. And this, as it comes through here, kind of closes the big reverse loop, if you want to call it that. So this turnout is the wrong way right now, and there's just barely enough time for it to flip over. Hopefully, switches and whoo, just barely switches over. So that turnout just aligned itself the right way. Okay, I'm gonna run over here real quick. We're gonna miss some good stuff, but here we go. Okay, had to run all the way around the layout to get back over here. And this is, oh, I can't think of it. This actually is kind of modeled after Boris Pass, really. So again, this here was original narrow gauge stuff. The stuff in the foreground with standard gauge we added in. So now we break from being prototypical again, and we're gonna go from what kind of was Boris Pass into Morrison. So this is the other reverse loop headed into Morrison. Now these buildings I've just put here as placeholders. Someday I would like to, scratch build buildings that were actually there. And I am kind of modeling this after how the track actually was at one point in time. There used to be a turntable and they buried it later, so I'm kind of depicting that. But it was still kind of visible, so it's kind of neat. So now we're gonna go back behind this mountain, which hides an access hole. And here's our mine that we've been sort of playing with. And we're gonna build this building. It's not styrofoam. So we're coming around the corner now. We're gonna go over this high trestle. So we're on the smaller reverse loop. And then this bridge will probably be a micro engineering steel girder bridge. And this turnout should flip in just a second to line itself up for this reverse loop. There it goes. So now we are headed back the way we came. So we can say we picked up stuff at Morrison, picked up people, dropped people stuff off, whatever. Now we're gonna go back through everything that we just went through, but backwards. Not stopping for water because we're going for a good time. Going for a good time? Trying to reach a good time? Trying to see how long this run takes. This siding, it's nice to have that working. I wasn't going for quite a long time. Alright. Let it finish out here and then I'll go back over to that other side. Alright, moving over. Okay, we're coming back into Kenosha Pass. Going off to the left would run us down to Como, which that is kind of, actually, it is prototypical. Now we're coming back through here though. And this is the scenery in here looks amazing. If you could just see what was in my head, you'd be impressed. So now we're going back through the Palisades, opposite direction. Again, this will be a nice cliffy area. And then that will bring us back into Alpine Station. This left side of the layout will be all one contiguous piece of scenery. But right here, it will split into an upper and lower shelf, you could say. And now we clear Alpine Station and back to no man's land. I'll come up with some kind of name. Maybe I'll find something in between. So there's our crazy stairs going up to the mystery area. Now we're clearing no man's land, headed back through Alpine Tunnel. And I'll meet you on the other side. So this is Romley. Again, this is not the actual track work that will be here. I'm going to change that, and it'll be pretty similar to what was there. My dad just informed me that we're a little over 15 minutes now. Here's my two normal curved turnouts. Coming back around to this mine. So this is kind of cool. This is kind of a little bit of a scene break with that tunnel there. I think it's going to have to get modified a little bit. But now this comes back into St. Elmo, which again, this is kind of the original track plan of it, and I have it fairly similar to it. I had to compress stuff a little bit, of course. All right. This will be nice looking too once it's done. And now we're going to head back into the dual gauge area of the layout. Again, we kind of have these two tracks running parallel, so we can still run the standard gauge and narrow gauge at the same time without them interfering with each other, but we can also cross over. The narrow gauge can actually go to the intermodal yard, but we won't talk about that. So now we're headed back into Buena Vista. So this turntable here is only narrow gauge, and I have dual gauge going to it, but I will only have narrow gauge going out onto the turntable. I just made it dual gauge so you could park some standard gauge locomotives here if you wanted to. This track on the left for this coal chute actually works. I just need to build a turnout to get it connected, but it actually works well. So again, Buena Vista. Jim is actually making some bridges for this area. It's been years, and it's been years since I've gotten far with it, so eventually we'll get there. So now back onto just the narrow gauge. We're gonna loop back in. If you look at some of my old videos, you'll see how much track there actually was inside this mountain, and we removed a lot of it. We kind of lost some options of how we could run trains, but there's way less track inside. So now this frog is dead, so it may stop here for a second. So I thought we wired that up like 6 months ago. Apparently not. Alright. I just pushed it through. So this will be nice to get mountain done on this. It'll look a little more complete. Alright, so now, again, this is kind of where we rerouted the main line. We're going to go back under Como. So this is just kind of a straight shot about 5 feet that goes underneath Como. It's not too hard to reach and to clean. Okay, move to the other side. So it's a lot less hidden track now because of this. So I'm glad I did it. It was a lot of work. Took months to complete it. This whole coal mine, we actually flipped it around 180 degrees after I had it all in. So this scene is definitely not done. Probably gonna be a lot of static grass and whatnot here, but it's usable and it looks decent. So again, coming back through King City Coal Mine. So if you go certain directions on this layout, locations are geographically correct, a lot of them. But if you go other directions, it's like completely out of whack. And I'm fine with that. So now we're gonna head back into the Como yards. My dirty little secret is the track that the train is on right now is actually the only track that works right now. Sorry about the movement. There's a lot of these turnouts were actually never completed by the original owner. If you look at these, they were never actually completed. And then I've got some crazy 3-way stub switches that I have the equipment for, but have not attacked them yet. They're an electrical nightmare the way they are right now. And we will be fixing that someday. But now we're back at Como where we started. However, we're going the opposite direction. So we're gonna let it keep going past Como because we need to come back here facing the correct direction. Our full run through the dog bone is not complete. I printed this out. It is to scale. Someday, lots of some days, I will build this, scratch build it. And that's what that will be. My dad and I actually stayed in that building in Como. So now here, oh, just about came off the track for some reason. Uh-oh. Something's weird. Might have picked up a spike or something. We're still going. Actually, you know what? I think the little air hose on that locomotive might hang down low sometimes. So this is Kenosha grade. This is the steepest grade in the entire layout room. I forgot what it is, but it's up there. Which is one of the reasons that back here on this back wall, we put that grade in. So you had another option. Okay, I'm gonna run around. So if you were just running trains, you would not have to go up this grade. You could go around the other way, which is more manageable. However, having this grade makes it kind of prototypical because a lot of times they would split trains in Como and bring half the train up here to Kenosha Pass with a helper, go back down to Como and get the other half of the train and bring it back up, and then let the helper go back down to Como. And we can actually do that on this layout. So that will be kind of neat. So now this turnout is the wrong way, but it just corrected itself, I think, I hope. Yep. So now we're headed back over to Morrison. Let's zoom in, see what happens. Okay, I'm gonna run over there real quick. Here we are. So I may cut that part of the video out, but the timer's still running, so nothing has stopped. One of my more recent videos I mentioned that I got a new lens for my camera, and I'm definitely noticing at this point in the video it is definitely heavier than my previous lens, which I knew it was, but now my left arm is feeling it. So now you notice we're going the opposite way through this loop because we already went through it once and we've left that turnout going the other direction. So this would be cool because if you're going to pick up coal cars from the Romley St. Elmo area on that siding, you can come through this way, go across these bridges, and you will be able to drop off back into this siding here and drop off coal, or not coal, but drop off ore for this mill. We decided that mine over there, they process their stuff over here. I'll show you this over here. I won't do much scenery because you don't really see that back there. You can see there's an access hole. I built this mountain to hide that. So now we're coming back through Morrison, but the opposite direction. Morrison is a pretty cool, hip town at the moment. There's the Red Rocks Amphitheater nearby in real life. Really neat mountains over there, and I might adjust these mountains and kind of do the same thing. I actually got to go there and we took pictures and everything. So we didn't see it, but that turnout has already flipped itself the correct way. So I know we've been down this line before, but to complete the entire run through the dog bone, here we are again. That trestle up there I added into the layout because we had to push part of the layout over about a foot so we can make the standard gauge layout fit in here, and that trestle fit right in that 1 foot gap pretty well. So back to Kenosha Pass, but this time, zoom in a little, that turnout is facing the other direction. So instead of going across over to Alpine, we're coming back down Kenosha grade. And we move coming back down Kenosha grade into Como. And this is the last segment of our run. Be nice to get that not so ugly right there. Okay, gotta move to the other side. There actually was a trestle, little bridge like that near Como. My dad and I have been there and looked at it, what's left. And here we are, going back into Como off of Kenosha grade, pointing the same direction we started, and that gets us all the way through this big dog bone. So I'm actually like kind of surprised that actually worked. It never stopped except for on that dead frog. We expected that. Almost came off the track where there might be a little bit of stuff on the sides of the track in the way of the locomotive, but it never stopped. Nothing came off. It went all the way. That's the first time ever it has done that. And we were at, I think, a reasonable speed, and it took a half hour. So that's a lot of track. That's a lot of narrow gauge. What I imagine is probably letting a train run like that, just on its own. And then have a separate train, have two locomotives, running locomotives. I would use a second train to play with. I would move cars from the mine over there and St. Elmo, and then run them up over there to Morrison, take passengers between all the different towns, and I would run that train while having to avoid the other train that's just going around. So I gotta get into sidings at the right time and let that train just go by. So operationally, I think that could be kind of a fun way to do that. Yeah, that's pretty cool. I'm actually really excited about that. It's been years since I planned that out like that. Well, this is good. Okay, so I guess that's like the end of this video. A little bit different kind of video. Hope you all enjoyed that. It's kind of a layout tour in a sense. Wow, yeah, so subscribe, ring the little bell so you get notifications when new videos come out. If you subscribed, I hope you subscribe. Just, everyone's doing it these days. It's like the only good thing going on in 2020. So, yeah, that's it. Thank you for watching and going along on this crazy journey. All right, see ya.